What's going on, guys? Matt over here with Lethal Garage, and today we're taking a look at what all did I get when I purchased my 1970 Camaro. Let's get into it. Like, if you just go through all these boxes of stuff, there's so many little parts and pieces. I don't know. This car was advertised as being basically body prepped, needed to be block and sanded, has a new rebuilt motor, rebuilt transmission that just needs little bits of love, and that he had all sorts of accessories and parts and pieces for the car that would go into the restoration that would save me potential money. Now, were these factory OEM parts? Were they ghetto aftermarket parts? I had no idea any of the details of what I was getting into. I did know, I looked up he had the body tag and the VIN, so I looked those up, and those all came across as clean, and I knew what I was getting into. But as far as what he provided and what I was getting for what I was spending, let's get into that. Let's just go over every little detail. So the car itself is in pretty decent shape for the year and where it was at. This car was set up as a drag car. It had a full roll cage in it. I recently cut it out because I am not drag racing or doing anything crazy with this car. This is gonna be a cruiser car, more of a pro touring, just really nice build. That is the goal of this build. But in it, you know, the car did have a motor in it. This is a 0-mile motor, so it was completely rebuilt, had Edelbrock valve covers, has the heads, the motor, basically springs and all that junk, cam. It's running. All it needs is rockers and lifters, a cover, and the supporting driveline. So obviously there's a big fat polished water pump in the front. But high rise, dual Edelbrocks. The motor wasn't something that was like, oh, that's a motor. I want to get that car because of that motor. This motor is basically going away. And I could probably sell, it's a 454, but it's been built, so it's a 468 now. And it has a TH400 transmission behind it. I'm getting rid of all of that. The motor is basically sold, and I believe we have a gentleman that's interested in the transmission. So goodbye. But that was a part of the purchase price, which is fine, but it's going away, so I can almost say that's money coming back to me. Now, the wheels on the car, it is, again, they basically put drag wheels and skinnies on it. He didn't have drag radials in the back, but it's set up for that. What are they? I think they're centerline wheels, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're centerline. Yes, these are centerline wheels. They're in pretty good shape. The tires are brand new. They're dirty by no means. They're very dirty, but they're brand new. The tread is perfect on them. The fronts even have the sticker still on them. As far as everything goes, yes, there is a hood. The hood is off the car because they have a high-rise setup. Has nothing in the interior. Nothing. It is gutted. It does have a trunk lid, so that's there. And the body, and that's it. So he did buy a brand new front grille. So I could show you, he was planning on basically converting this car how it sat. So he bought a new grille, and then he was going to do the split bumper design, which was really a split bumper design that was made for the cars that aren't a true RS, that hook on to the body filler mounts and the front piece mounts to give it that look. But it wasn't a true RS, and you'll know the RS because it has the blinkers next to the headlights. Now, that's all fine and dandy. In this box, he had the split bumpers. They're like 189 bucks on eBay or at any of the online reseller of old parts. He does have a brand new factory style bumper. So this is brand new in the box still with all the mounting hardware. And it did come with a ton of stuff that is factory original to the car, and then a ton of stuff that he purchased for the car. And to me, the stuff on this side was important to have some of it. The rest of this stuff was just kind of icing on the cake in a sense, because it's not really, you know, anything that I couldn't go off and buy on my own. So it has the hood latch, it has the blinkers. Obviously there's the whole housing on one and the cover's missing. It has one of the pedals. I think this might have been the brake pedal. potentially. But you got the headlight mounts with the light housing, the door vents, the actual factory rear license plate that covers the gas cap, the factory rear lights, and then he has another set, and I believe these are the standard lights if I'm not mistaken. And I think, no, I could be wrong. One of them is the RS setup, and one of them I think are the factory lights that came with it. Have the whole mechanism set up for the hood, whole bunch of other trim pieces, covers, etc. He does still have the factory headlights, but with new trim pieces. He did get brand new side mirrors. These are actually really nice. I don't know if they're gonna work on the car all that much. I don't know if this is the right side. I think this goes on the other side of the car, but they're nice. They're new, they're shiny. Will I do chrome? No, I'm not doing shiny chrome. So if I kept those, I'd have to change the color somehow, powder coat or something, but the rear lights again. He did have a radiator support. I don't even know if it's usable for what we'll end up doing. He has the chassis braces. He got brand new Camaro side logos. These are actually a package of GM locks. So all 3 locks and keys, straight, that's a GM product. So that's actually saves me a little bit of money. As far as brand new door handles, that's the bumper hardware. And then for the motor, it has the 2 dual carburetors with the stacks, which these are actually pretty terrible. So there's a foam insert in here. And if gas was to squirt up through there, which can happen common, and then it just catches fire and then just burns your car down. That's not cool. Won't be using those. But outside of that, it also had a gas tank and the original inner fenders in here. I have them on the side of the house. So here's what's left of the roll cage. I cut it out. Sorry, my side yard's a disaster, but you can see the original fenders, which I'm not going to reuse because these are dented and beat up to hell. And then the gas tank, which actually still has the sending unit in it. I doubt that it works, but it's the factory tank with the factory sending unit and the factory fenders. I ordered brand new ones of those and a brand new fuel tank. So as you can see, the car came with quite a bit of parts and pieces. Not nearly enough to rebuild the car by any means, but I would honestly love to know what you guys think what I purchased is worth. What would you have paid for it? The biggest thing with this build was the body. The body has really 0 rust on the outside. It's prepped, ready to go, ready to be blocked and sanded. So that's a ton of time and effort that I don't have to take on. Hey, Maple Fed showed up. But that's a ton of time and effort I don't have to take on, and it's a huge cost savings. Some of the lines still need to be worked out. There is some bad spots on the exterior. Definitely needs to be addressed, but by no means is it gonna cost me 10 grand to get the exterior to a place to where it's ready to be painted. Obviously the car needs to be shimmed and aligned, and we have some panels that are a little bit out of whack and whatnot, but we could fix all that. And then the interior, I kind of was happy it was gutted. There is a few rust issues in the back seat area. Those could be patched in and fixed, pretty inexpensive. But obviously we need a new steering column, dash, all the interior parts and pieces, door panels, all the glass, headliner. Like there's a lot there. The interior, there's a lot to do, and that's not going to be cheap, but it's a blank canvas and I could do what I want with it. So I'm excited about that. Obviously there's the motor and trans, again, being a 454 motor with 0 miles ready to go. Is it worth anything? Yeah, I mean, the motor has value. So basically I'm flipping that on the difference of the cost of the car. So obviously picking up the car will be cheaper, but being a full resto, there's a lot of money that's going to be going into this vehicle. So, but I just have to ask, what do you guys think this car is worth to you with all the parts and pieces I've just shown? I'm not going to reveal how much I paid for the car at this time. I will probably in the future as we get ready to unveil the final car, but you know, I'll go over all the costs and everything as we go for all the parts and pieces, but I'd love to know what you guys think this cost. Most of the ones I've seen, I'll just give you a heads up. So most of the ones I've seen on the internet that are a roller body across the country that has lots of rust problems, they range from 5,000 to 10 grand. And again, lots of rust problems. They needed lots of work, but they had full interiors and they potentially had motors that weren't running, but were in probably better condition considering I don't have any of the assembly, front assembly or radiators or anything like that, or even functioning brakes for that matter. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna go there. But if I wanted a car that was running and worked and had an interior, so it probably could have been at a better starting point, but they had rust, they had problems. So I'd have to basically strip the whole car down and then start with all the body work and find out if the A-pillars were good and just a lot of work there. So there's a little caveat. And full built Pro Touring I've seen for about $59,000. So that's fully done LT4 motor, like just beautiful car. So I'm hoping I can build this for a lot less than that, but I'll probably end up putting a lot more than that in here. Yeah. So there's all the parts. Those are all the pieces. That's where we're at right now. I have a ton of stuff coming. I'm gonna reveal all of that in a video here pretty soon. But yeah, there's something on the other side of those toolboxes already for this maple feds here. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video, guys. This is it. Let me know what you guys think. You guys are probably going, oh God, what have you gotten yourself into? And I've gotten myself into exactly what I wanted, a full rebuild from the start. Lots and lots to do. So I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too. Either or, hit the comments if you want to leave a comment below. Likes, comments, shares are always appreciated. Smash that subscribe button for tons more content around the 2nd gen and the 6th gen that's currently hiding because I didn't want it to get dirty outside today. But yeah, until next time, guys, hope to see you on the road.